Hello, I'm Jashikins, and welcome to another episode of Jash Reads. Tonight, we are continuing reading Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift. And Chapter 5 is narrated by Marco! Woohoo! I don't know. Okay, maybe it was a little immature to sneak into Darlene's party as a mouse, but you didn't hear what she said about me. Me and Axe morphed in a vacant lot a block away. Then we tunneled up over on our little mouse legs to the party. Of course, first we had to get used to the mouse morph. See, when you morph, you don't just get the animal's body, you get its brain too. And most animal brains are loaded with different instincts. Usually hunger, also fear. The mouse had a lot of each. He was very obsessed about food, and he was one scared little animal. It's often that way when you first morph a new species. As soon as Axe and I achieved total mousehood, those instincts kicked in big time. Run, 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 run. The mouse didn't like being out in the open in broad daylight. He was scared of predators. Seriously scared. Run, 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 run. So we ran. It was like 1 minute you're a normal human thinking, isn't it fascinating shrinking down like this? Growing a tail? Having big whiskers? And the next minute, that mouse brain kicks in, and suddenly you are charged up with the energy of 1,000 cups of coffee on top of 1,000 bowls of Captain Crunch, and you are energized. I can't control this creature, Axe wailed. It's insane. Just go with it, I said. He'll chill out eventually. Let me tell you, mice can move on those little legs. It was like being strapped to the front bumper of an Indy 500 car. Zoom! We hauled butt, zipping in wild terror over leaves of grass as big as trees, pieces of gravel the size of beach balls, and bugs the size of collies. That much I'm used to. I've morphed small animals before. But what was sick was that I really, really wanted to stop and eat some of those bugs. There was this one beetle, kind of bluish black, and the mouse brain was like, ah, cool, lunch. But it was more terrified than was hungry, so we just kept running like out of control lunatics, and I missed out on the flavor bug. Eventually, we were able to get some control. Axe, you okay, man? I called to him in thought speak. I am fine, but these mice have very powerful instincts. Yeah, scared little things, aren't they? Animals develop instincts for a good reason. Axe said darkly. If the mouse is cautious, it probably has good reasons. Well, if we see any cats, we'll just morph back. I said, yes, if we live long enough. In any case, we toddled off to the party, two little mice looking for a good time. Mouse senses are excellent, fortunately. Hearing is great. The sense of smell is great. The eyes are decent, but it's hard to see much when you're only an inch tall and your face is down at dirt level. Still, I was able to locate. Shit. Still, I was able to locate Darlene by the sound of her voice. She was talking to her friends about the usual stuff: school, music, some cute guy on TV. Hex and I hid underneath Darlene's chair, so I was able to hear everything pretty well. All I could see of Darlene was this enormous chair roof over my head, stretched bands of interwoven plastic bulging down like they might burst and crush me. Quite a distance away, I could see her legs, looking like two gigantic pink pillars. Well, this is boring, I said to Axe. What did you expect? I expected them to be talking about me, naturally, I said. Then it occurred to me. I could not speak to Darlene. I would just say the word Marco in her head. She wouldn't know where it had come from. She'd probably think someone had said it out loud. With thought speak, you can either do it so everyone hears you or sort of aim it at just one person. Marco, I said. What? Darlene asked. What about Marco? Nothing about Marco. This girl called this this girl named Kara said. Good, because I don't even want his name mentioned at my party. He's such a jerk. I mean, after what he did, throwing baby Ruth bars in my pool, panicking everybody, he's so immature. A girl named Ellen said. No, duh, Darlene said. He thinks he's so cool and so cute, but he's totally not. He always makes jokes about stuff that aren't even funny. Well, I could stand them saying I was immature. That's what girls always say. But saying I wasn't funny, I would show them funny. Oh, yes. I took off. I ran for the lakes. Axe came after me, yelling, "What are we doing?" "We're just going to see how good Darlene's sense of humor is," I yelled back. I ran for that big pink lake. I saw the foot pressing heavily down on the grass. I shot past her heel, which was like a wall to me, and aimed for the toes. Let me just say this. Darlene thinks she's perfect in every way, but her toenails definitely needed trimming. I scampered right onto her foot. I zoomed across her foot, then scrabbled wildly around her ankle and back over her toes. Yeah! I crowed to Axe. I'll give her something else to complain about. Oh, oh, oh! Darlene screamed. Up flew the foot. I jumped off just in time, and then she was out of there, screaming and yammering like a total ninny. Naturally, I chased her, and naturally, Max came with me. It was total, absolute fun. I'm sorry, I know it was wrong and all, but man, it was so cool. That is, until I heard Hans yelling about how he was going to stomp me. That would never do. I did not intend to be stomped by Hans's big, stinky foot. I heard Jake's big voice yelling and Cassie's sweeter but still annoyed voice. "Oh, man, it's Jake!" I said to Axe. "Busted!" I raced for cover, looking for a place to morph back to human. Big stomping feet were landing all around me. They were slow, but man, they were big. Everyone was totally overreacting. I mean, give me a break. I was 2 inches long. How scary could I possibly be? Then it occurred to me, the house. We could run inside, race down to the basement where no one would be, morph back real fast, and then, well, and then there I would be. Just me and an Andalite. Great. That wouldn't look too strange. Axe, stay with me. We need to demorph. Then you have to do your human morph and quick, okay? I have the feeling, Marco, that this was not a good idea. Nah, everything according to plan. Zoom! Over the threshold onto the patio. Zoom! Into the house itself. Zoom! Past the hysterical Darlene, who was on the couch with a pillow over her over her head. Zoom! Along carpet till we hit linoleum. Suddenly, the scent of dark places, mouse places. Yes, it was going to work. We ran across a step and leapt, falling, flop to land on the next step. Again and again, step after step, at a speed that felt like we were flying rockets. It was so cool. If you overlook the fact that it was maybe slightly stupid. Don't worry. I called to Jake in thought speak. We're in the basement. We're going to demorph. Just make sure no one comes down to the basement looking for mice. We lost our pursuers. No one followed us down the steps. And even as I ran, I started to demorph. I was halfway back to human, a strange mix of mouse tail and huge ears and human legs. A scary looking creature. The way Mickey Mouse would look if he'd been invented by Stephen King. Axe looked even worse. Half mouse, half Andalite. Just as I was thinking, hey, this will all be fine, the entire world just flew apart. Sunlight streamed down. The entire roof had been ripped away. The entire roof. Wood and beam and concrete just shattered and ripped and fell in huge chunks. I couldn't even make sense of it. I ran. The entire world around me was just being shredded like the universe was being run through a food processor. Then I saw it. It was gigantic, enormous, a creature that seemed to be made of nothing but teeth and blades and destruction. It was like 20 Hork-Bajir glued together and given dragon wings. Rack! It was ripping the house apart with unbelievable power. The noise was terrifying. The scream of ripping wood, the shattering crunch of concrete being torn up, just torn up like it was nothing. Pipes bending, wires sizzling and popping as they exploded into showers of sparks. Look out! I yelled to Axe with my now human voice. Beams were falling around as splinters were flying through the air. I barely noticed that I had finished morphing. I was human again. Somehow Axe had kept his concentration and was fully in his human morph. We were defenseless. Two kids without a weapon between us. Above our heads, where there had been a house just seconds before, beasts hovered in the sun. It looked down at us with a dozen weird eyes that seemed to be stuck here and there at random. It stared at us the way I'd seen Tobias stare at his prey. It was going to destroy us. There was no question in my mind. No question that it could. Oh, man, I moaned. I don't like this. Then the eyes all flickered at once. The beast seemed uncertain. And to my utter relief and utter amazement, the thing began to disperse. He became dust again, just a cloud of dust that thinned and disappeared. I was shaking so badly I couldn't stand up, but I was alive. And that's the end of that lovely chapter. Hang on a moment, need to drink. That was like it's like, hey, I can play a nice little prank. Oh, prank on Darlene. Okay, now I have to do is race into the house, demorph. It's going to cause its own issues, and then his day gets worse. And I would like to come to Marco's defense, saying that he was justified because she didn't think he was funny. I mean, come on, Marco is fucking hilarious. He is awesome. If he's funny, like, how dare Darlene say? But in all seriousness, if you do ever find yourself with the ability to turn into animals, do not do something similar to someone. Don't do that. I don't agree with that. There, wherever. So, what did you think about the chapter? I mean, what do you think this creature is? What do you think? Does it have any weakness? And if so, yeah. How do you think the Animorphs will live through this day? So, just comment below. Let's start up a nice, lovely party. And please remember, if you're going to comment, no major spoilers. I don't want, newcomers to the series to have something big spoiled for them. I'm sort of hoping that people are brought into the Animorphs fandom via my videos. So, don't want to give some of the big, really big spoilers away, even though the series ended in 2001. It's still newcomers to the series. I want to make it so that they can experience this Animorphs series without something really major being spoiled for them. But if you do want to talk spoilers to me, if you are watching this on the YouTubes, link in the description to my Tumblr Ask Box, where you can talk to me about theories, ask me my opinions on different parts of the series. So, yay! And if you're watching this and you're one of the newbies to the series, and first of all, I just want to say welcome. We don't have cookies, but what we do have are cinnamon buns. Man's finest, greatest creation. And also, if you find yourself going, hey, I would love my very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by Kay Applegate. If you're watching on the YouTubes, link in the description. If you're watching on my blog, link down below. And both links will take you to where you can buy your very own copy of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift by Kay Applegate. And if you're on the YouTubes, please like this video if you think Marco is justified in what he did to Darlene. You know, come on. And also, just thumbs up for Marco being funny. Come on. Also, and please subscribe to Jash Reads, because I will be continuing to read the rest of the Animorph series. So, don't want to miss out on a chapter, or, don't want to miss out when I get to your favorite book if I haven't covered it already. So, yay! And if you're watching this on my blog and watching on the desktop version of my blog, please choose the follow by email option so you never again miss any of my blog posts. And sometime tomorrow, there's going to be a new long blog post coming up, which will cover something about Game of Thrones. I think I think the last maybe 2 or 3 long blog posts I've done have been about Game of Thrones. It's like I found myself in another little rut. It's like, ah. And finally, my Twitter account is Jashikins. And if you're watching on the YouTube's link in the description to my Twitter profile. And what I do on Twitter is I will update about some projects. I might be in the middle of editing something. Funny thought occurs to me, I might tweet it. I'll update you on certain projects, like, oh yeah, I've gotten a script outlined and I'm about to write, or I've encountered this problem, if you can, please help. So yeah, and the next episode of Jash Reads will be on Friday, and will be more of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift. Now comes the part of the video that's sort of a bonusy part. You can't just, if you need to get doing something else, leave now. But if you just want to relax, get a beer or milk or whatever, yeah. And so, what is this little bonusy segment? Well, basically, I slowly work on a graphic, and I do bits and pieces every video. So I don't usually take up too much of your time. So, and so this graphic we've been working on for the past few videos is simply the cover to one of the fanfics I'm currently working on, called The Pull of Fate. And we're just going to do the lettering, but I'm going to actually see, those sort of appear blue to me. God. I'm going to see if I can do anything. Paint. Shit. Okay. I'm going to try something, and then we're going to go straight to then we're going to go straight to writing. Okay. Ooh. So let's see if I do this correctly. I could give her green eyes, I think. I think I can give her green eyes. Oh, I think I figured out a trick. Actually, this might be the only thing we do this today. Oh my god, I think we figured something out here, folks. Definitely looks, I think that actually looks good. Yeah, definitely green eyes. We changed from blue to green. And in the fanfic series, the Rinduology, and Damn it. And like, I have an idea. Yeah, the Rinduology and consequences of ice and fire. Rin has these green eyes that are really commented on. The thing is, she gets green eyes in the second part of the Rinduology when she is able to get, just get basically she's able to absorb the power of wildfire into her, which does take a toll on her, and it does give her a new power to use, but it's also one that really takes a toll out of her. I mean, the few times she uses it, it's usually she needs to recuperate for a few days or few hours. It's like very powerful force, but at the same time, it comes at a cost. And uh, Pull of Fate green. I'm going to keep this as a separate one just in case. And I think that's sort of a good thing to do when you have, powerful characters, whether in fan fiction or otherwise, that for one, there's limitations. There's different limitations on what they can't do, and also that whatever they're fighting, whatever enemy they're going up against, it has to be the opposite of what they are. The enemy has to touch on one of their weaknesses. So they can't just kick ass, take names, and it's over with. There's a realistic way why they can't just in the story in just like 5 minutes. And so, yeah, whenever I have an enemy where she's faced off against, like, I guess you could consider it a big bad, it is something where she has to use her mind that she just can't use her strength against, that she actually has to think. And actually, talking about that, before I actually end this video, one of the reasons I really like the Netflix show Jessica Jones season 1 so much was that the villain played excellently by David Tennant. I don't know why. It's like I love him more as villains for some odd reason. And so David Tennant's character was just the opposite strength of Jessica Jones. Jessica Jones is extremely physically powerful, while David Tennant's character just is strong in the mind. He can control people. So, it's definitely not it's a he's the opposite sort of strength of her. And I think that's one reason why the rivalry really works. But just be prepared if you watch the season that there's mentions of rape there. I don't remember anything being shown. I'm very, I guess you could say, triggered by rape scenes. I don't remember any of that. Nothing graphic, but definitely implied, and some of their relationship was shown. So, just a warning, but it's worth it. Trust me. So I was going to do the letters today, but I guess I got distracted talking about how awesome I am. And then I did her green eyes. I complimented myself for that. So yeah. So again, the next Jash Reads episode will be more of Megamorphs #1, The Andalite's Gift, and will air on Friday. Goodbye.